Hello everyone, good morning. Yeah, we are from group 10. So in here, we all want to explain about the material of our group. It's about connectives that express cause and effect, contrast, and condition. So the members of this group, there are me, Indah Sitorus, next Ribka Angrin, and the last Nurul Izzah. So please keep on watching the video and listen to our material.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Nurul Izzah. In this chance, I would like to explain about connectives that express cause and effect. Specifically about the use of phrasal prepositions because of and due to. And then I will also explain about the use of therefore, consequently, and so. Okay, so without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. Now, I will explain about the use of, because of, and due to. But first thing first, I think we are already familiar to use because in our daily conversations or writings, right? And if you notice it, because usually introduces an adverb clause, as in this example. Because the weather was cold, we stayed home. As you can see here, because is followed by a clause, the weather was cold. And the word because making it as an adverb clause that tells people about the reason or cause of why they stayed home at that time. Now we will learn about because of and due to. Okay, so is there any difference in using them from just using because? Yes, there is. Because of and due to are phrasal prepositions. So as they are phrasal prepositions or prepositions, they must be followed by a noun object, not a clause, as in this example. Because of the cold weather, we stayed home. And due to the cold weather, we stayed home. As you can see here, both of the prepositions because of and due to are followed by a noun object, or we can also call it as a noun phrase, the cold weather. So usually we cannot use a clause just like the weather was cold anymore. But sometimes or usually in more formal writings, due to can also be followed by a noun clause. But it must be introduced by a phrase, the fact that. Okay, let's take a look at this example. Due to the fact that the weather was cold, we stayed home. So we can see here that due to can also be followed by a noun clause, but it must be introduced by a phrase, the fact that. Okay, now let's do a review. We stayed home because of the cold weather. We stayed home due to the cold weather. We stayed home due to the fact that the weather was cold. How is it? After knowing all the rules, it isn't that difficult, right? Oh yeah, also as you can see here, just like adverb clauses, these phrases can also follow the main clause, as in this example. We stayed home is the main clause, and then it is followed by the phrases because of and due to. So you are not obligated to say or write the reason or cause using these phrases in the front or before the main clauses. Now, I will explain about the use of therefore, consequently, and so. But first, let's take a look at these examples. Al failed the test because he didn't study. Al didn't study. Therefore, he failed the test. Al didn't study. Consequently, he failed the test. All of these examples basically have the same meaning. Therefore and consequently mean as a result. In grammar, they are called transitions or conjunctive adverbs. transitions are used to connect the ideas between two sentences. Yes, two sentences. That's why we use a period here between the two ideas, since they are still consisted of two sentences. And also, for your information, these transitions are more commonly used in formal written English and rarely in spoken English. So you may use them if you want to make a report, essay, etc. Next, we will be more focused on the use of therefore. So now let's take a look at these examples first. Al didn't study, therefore he failed the test. Al didn't study, he therefore failed the test. Al didn't study, he failed the test, therefore. Do you see the difference between those examples? What is it? Yes, the difference is on the position of the transitions, therefore. So in the first one, the structure is the transition, therefore, and then the subject he, and then the verb failed, and then the rest of the sentence, the test. Meanwhile, in the second one, the structure is the subject he, and then the transition, therefore, and then the verb, and then the rest of the sentence. And then in the last one, the structure is the subject, and then the verb failed, and then the rest of the sentence, and finally the transition. And as you can see, the transitions, all of these, occur in the second of two related sentences. And you also have to put attention on the patterns and punctuations. Like a period is used at the end of the first sentence here. And we do not use a comma, okay? We use a period at the end of the first sentence. And since the transitions here has several positions in the second sentence, you have to separate them from the rest of the sentences by using a comma. Like here, in the first example, we use a comma after therefore so that it can be separated from he failed the test. And in the second example, we use double comma to separate therefore from he and failed the test. Actually, a semicolon is also possible in this situation, but it will be explained by my friend Ribka in the next session. And then finally, I will explain about the use of so. Now, let's take a look at this example. Al didn't study, so he failed the test. In this example, so is used as a conjunction between two independent clauses. Al didn't study and he failed the test. It basically has just the same meaning as therefore. But so is more common in spoken English. And then the last thing is, you have to notice that a comma usually precedes so when it connects two sentences. Jadi, harus selalu ada koma sebelum kita menaruh kata so ketika dia mengconnect two sentences. Okay, I think that's all the materials that I can share and explain to you. And this also wraps up my section of this presentation. Thank you so much for the attention. And now the next materials will be explained by Indah. Silakan Indah.
My name is Indah Sitorus. Now I want to explain about summary of patterns and punctuation. First, adverb clauses. For the example, because it was hot, we went swimming. We went swimming because it was hot. An adverb clause may precede or follow an independent clause. So for the punctuation, a comma is used if the adverb clause comes first. Jadi, tanda bacanya atau tanda koma yang digunakan itu akan digunakan jika klausa kata keterangan didahulukan. Next, about prepositions. For example, because of the hot weather, we went swimming. We went swimming because of the hot weather. A preposition is followed by a noun object. not by a subject and verb. So for the punctuation, a comma is usually used if the prepositional phrase precedes the subject and the verb of the independent clause. Jadi untuk tanda bacanya, tanda komanya biasanya digunakan jika frasa preposisi mendahului subjek dan kata kerja dari klausa independen. Next, about transitions. For the example, it was hot, therefore we went swimming. It was hot, we therefore went swimming. It was hot, we went swimming, therefore. A transition is used with the second sentence of a pair. It shows the relationship of the second idea of the first idea. A transition is movable within the second sentence. So for the punctuation, a period is used between the two independent clauses. A comma may not be used to separate the clauses. Comma are usually used to set the transition off from the rest of the sentence. Jadi untuk tanda bacanya, tanda titik digunakan di antara dua klausa independen. Tanda koma tidak boleh digunakan untuk memisahkan klausa. Koma biasanya digunakan untuk mengatur transisi dari sisi kalimat. Next, it's about conjunctions. For the example, it was hot, so we went swimming. A conjunction comes between two independent clauses. So for the punctuation, usually a comma is used immediately in front of a conjunction. A semicolon may be used instead of a period between the two independent clauses. Jadi untuk tanda bacanya, biasanya koma itu digunakan tepat di depan setelah kata hubung, atau tepat di depan kata hubung, Sebuah titik koma itu digunakan sebagai pengganti titik antara dua klausa independen. For example, it was hot, therefore we went swimming. It was hot, we therefore went swimming. It was hot, we went swimming, therefore. Jadi secara umum, titik koma dapat digunakan sebagai pengganti titik di antara dua kalimat ataupun yang terkait erat artinya. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Ribka Angrin, and now I will continue to explain about connective, that other ways to expressing cause and effect, such as and so that. This is some examples. The first examples is, because the weather was nice, we went to the zoo. Dan jika kita ingin menggunakan such that, it was such nice weather that we went to the zoo. It was such nice weather adalah cause-nya, that we went to the zoo adalah efeknya. Dan jika kita ingin menggunakan so that, maka akan menjadi the weather was so nice that we went to the zoo. The weather was so nice adalah cause-nya, that we went to the zoo adalah efeknya. The three examples have the same meanings. And the second example is such that encloses a modified, and the structure can be such plus adjective plus noun plus that. The examples, it was such good coffee that I had another cup. Such good coffee, good is adjective, coffee is a noun. And next, it was such a foggy day that we couldn't see the road. Such a foggy day is adjective, day is a noun. And the third examples is so that encloses an adjective or adverb, and the structure can be so plus adjective or adverb plus that. The examples, the coffee is so hot that I can drink it. Hot is adjective. And I'm so hungry that I could eat a horse. Hungry is adjective. And She speaks so fast that I can understand her. So fast. Fast is both between adjective or adverb. And the last is he walks so quickly that I couldn't keep up with him. Quickly is an adverb. And next is so that is used with many, few, much, and little. The examples is she made so many mistakes that she failed the exam, and he has so few friends that he is always lonely, and she has so much money that she can buy whatever she wants. And then he had so little trouble with the test that he left 20 minutes. Okay everyone, that's all from group N. Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much.